We know that he hates the people of Gaza, right? Let's think, what might he have to say about his colleagues, the other people who he works with in government, right? The other representatives. It'll definitely be raving reviews, right? I mean, he's obviously open to criticism, and he is obviously capable and able to have a logical debate with people of differing ideas, right? Well, here's a quote from him about the other representatives that he works with. Quote, I have this distinct displeasure of serving with two overt anti-Semites. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. It makes my stomach crawl. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Miss Greene has kind of said some things that were out of pocket. But, so I can understand that. But Thomas freaking Massie? What the hell are you talking about, dude? You said Thomas Massie is an overt anti-Semite. Brother, what standard are you using for that? Do we have to, what bar are we having to cross? Because it sounds like to me that, again, if you're not cheering for the deaths of women and children, you're anti-Semitic. What does criticizing a government have to do with being anti-Semitic? That is just a word that you people use to try to have some emotional manipulation on other people to try to make sure they don't criticize you anymore. Y'all are the true cowards. The people who are afraid of discussion, who are afraid of debate, but most importantly, you are people who are afraid of the truth. Let's go over some of the absolutely horrific anti-Semitic things Thomas Massie said. I mean, these are things that will make you sick to your stomach. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to say these things on YouTube. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready. Here it is. It's coming. Quote, nothing can justify the number of civilian casualties, tens of thousands of women and children inflicted by Israel in Gaza in the last 2 years. We should end all U.S. military aid to Israel now. Another quote. Well, rough numbers, they've killed 1 in 40 people in Gaza. If you did that in the United States, it'd be almost 10 million people. Everyone in Gaza is at this point related to someone who's been killed, and we're supporting it, right? That number is probably higher now because at this point in time, the death count was about 50,000, and now I think it's like 65 to 70,000. It really puts things into perspective that this is what people call overtly anti-Semitic. Your words mean nothing anymore. Another quote. Horrible, horrible stuff. I hope y'all can forgive me for repeating the horrible things Thomas Massie has said. Quote, there is no big, giant Great Britain lobby. There is no Australian lobby. There is no German lobby. And if you're an ally, why wouldn't we work with you? Why do you have to convince us that you're our ally? It's because they want to keep the money flowing, and they've got a good return on their investment. This is regarding AIPAC, which is the Israeli lobby that spends millions on elections for both Democrats and Republicans. And the weird thing about them is they have an extremely high win rate, meaning the vast majority of the time, whoever they are supporting ends up winning. That doesn't necessarily seem bad, and it doesn't necessarily mean it is bad. It just kind of bothers me that another country has that kind of pull, I guess. That even if it's just a coincidence, even if it is 100% just a coincidence, that's weird. Okay? Now, this is my favorite quote from him about this. I disagree with your version of Christianity if it requires endorsing the deaths of women and children on behalf of any country. You look me in the freaking eyes and you tell me what is truly going on in Gaza right now would be justified in the eyes of God. God have mercy on all of the lost souls who would say crap like that. If you want to make a comparison to, like, I guess the Crusades, because that's like really the only other, like, you know, Judaism, Christianity type thing that people are like very they're very critical of. One, the Crusades were 100% justified completely. Now, was every single action that every single individual took justified? No, there's always going to be bad people. However, we were taking back enslaved, pillaged, and destroyed lands from Islamic forces that had been conquering the known world. So I think that was justified. But today, they're not fighting armies. Israel is just trying to remove a group of people from land that was rightfully the other group of people's.